I ran after her, filled with worry for Royal and Dion, though I had to admit I was a tad more concerned for the latter. No, Dion! No! No! Sup guys, the name's Ron Jagnel, and welcome back to Locked Heart. So last where we left off, Dion and the others became human after we made him comfortable in bed. Excuse me, start off the video with a cough. But yeah, first when we went into that room with Gold, I'm surprised that they didn't turn human at first then, but since after we slept with Dion, not in that sense, just like, you know, sleeping, tunneling, yay. But afterwards, the next morning, she woke up and Dion was human again. That's basically what happened. Everybody was like confused, like what the fuck happened. But now we're gonna continue on forward and see some more clues as to how to break the rest of the curse and get Gold back to human form. So let us continue. A few days have passed since then. I tried to find clues that might break the curse soon. I went to Seoul first since I knew that Royal would only send me away. Yay! Yay, it's Babe! I became the heir because our father announced that my brother's not suited to become one. Everything changed after that night. He started slacking off and causing trouble for everyone. If it wasn't for him, I would have... Oh, poor soul, but you know, Dion didn't mean to put that pressure on you. You know he didn't. Sorry, my lady. I remember that I still have something to do. Please excuse me. Oh, Soul, don't do that. And he left me hanging just like that. I gathered my courage to ask Royal since he's Dion's best friend after all, but I didn't get much from him, as expected. That night, he did change a lot after that incident. Anyway, why are you asking me this? You shouldn't stick your nose where it doesn't belong, girl. That earned me his signature glare before he shooed me off. Both of them mentioned something about that night, but didn't clarify any details about what really happened. Lily and Miss Maria were too busy, and I couldn't find a perfect time to talk to them. What is it that troubles Dion so much? I was too busy thinking about how I could help Dion that I didn't notice someone was calling my name. Miss Aura! Oh, wait, wrong voice. Miss Aura! I stopped in my tracks and whirled towards the source of the voice. Lily? She looked worried and scared, and the urgency in her voice meant something bad had happened. What's wrong? It's... What happened? Dion and Royal got into a fight! It's horrible! Uh-oh. Hurry! I ran after her, filled with worry for Royal and Dion, though I had to admit I was a tad more concerned for the latter. No, Dion! No! No! When we arrived at the garden, my mouth dropped open in shock. The two were covered in dirt, and judging from their deceitful appearances, I was sure that they indeed had a rough fight. Oh, Royal! Oh, God. Dion must have said something to tick Royal off probably about Gold. God, that, no! They were glaring at each other threateningly. If looks could kill, they would both be dead right now. True. Soul was trying to hold Dion back while Miss Maria blocked Royal from attacking him further. Enough, you two! Brother, please. Oh boy. Y'all made our own sacrifices, so don't even think about putting everything to waste. Without waiting for Dion's reply, Royal whirled around and stalked off. Oh boy. Dion stared after Royal for a moment before he too stormed off, pushing Soul out of his way when his brother attempted to console him. Brother, wait! This is awful! Just awful! They've never had a fight this bad before! I blinked, unable to think of anything to say. I know even the best of friends could get into an argument, but when they ended up physically hurting each other, then something awful must have happened. Royal and Dion never showed up again, locking themselves in their rooms after that fight, and I was getting more worried. What was that fight all about? Maybe I should talk to... Oh, fuck. Save. both of them are a bad idea. I want to say like talk to Dion, but maybe he's not really in a mood, cause yeah, but Royal's not in a good mood either. It's just all right, fine, we'll go with Royal. I stared at Royal's door, having this internal debate if I should really talk with him. Yeah, same here. I was pretty sure that he would only get angry with me. But then again, he was always angry at me, so it would not make a difference. I mean, yeah? I raised my hand and was about to knock when I heard Lily. Miss Aura? Oh, hi, Lily. If you're looking for Royal, I just saw him in the library a while ago. I gave her a grateful and prepared, I think she meant a grateful smile, and prepared to dash down the halls. And Miss Aura? I stopped in my tracks when she called. There was a sad expression on her face. I hope he'll talk with you. I already tried, but he only pushed me away. I nodded in understanding. He pushed Lily, whom he's known for a long time, away, and would probably do the same to me. But I was determined. Yeah, I'm determined too. Royal? There was no answer. I searched the stacks and found him at the far corner, staring out the window. Morello, can we talk? There's nothing to talk about, so just go ahead and leave. But I already expected him to refuse me, and no amount of pleading would make him talk with me. Then I remembered something that might make him talk. I know how to break the curse. Completely. This earned Royal's attention, and he finally looked at me. But to do it, I need your help. He gave me a skeptical look and did not move for what felt like hours. Then finally, he let out a sigh and leaned against the window frame. Go on, I'm listening. I told him what the toy maker said about a troubled heart disrupting the toy maker's curse. So Dion's inner turmoil has caused the locket to rust, and that's why it won't open? I nodded. Voice crack. I nodded. I'm afraid so. I do know now that Dion was originally the heir, and that the title was given to Sol when their father thought Dion didn't deserve the title. But I know there's something more beyond that. Morello crossed his arms and looked away, his eyes distant and sad. I'm in no position to tell you this, but for the sake of breaking the curse, I have no choice but to do so. When I first came here, the three of them were indeed very close, especially Dion and Lord Sol. But because of their responsibilities Dion had to fulfill, he hardly had any time to be with them. Their father was a cold and cruel man. You wouldn't have liked it when he was angry, for he tended to lash out at anyone, even if they were his own children. You mean? I saw Dion with new bruises every time he failed to do something, especially when he abandoned his responsibilities just so he could spend time with Lord Sol and Gold. Dude, that's called being an abusive father right there. That's gosh, I don't feel any pity for him, honestly, even if he lost his wife, because he turned into that ruthless man. I don't like him. His brother and sister had no idea that he suffered so much from their father. My eyes widened with shock, and I felt my chest getting heavy at the thought of Dion getting physically hurt by his own father. My vision began to blur, and I blinked back tears. You haven't told Sol and Gold? Morello shook his head. No, I am only a household servant, and we are to keep our mouths shut about everything we witness inside this house. And Dion also made me promise not to say anything to them, and I'm still bound to that promise even now. So what happened that night? Morello looked at me, hesitation clearly written on his face. I thought he was going to shoo me away again, like he did last time, but I was surprised when he actually answered. I only heard it from the other servants, and they said that Dion humiliated his father during a meeting with the other family heads. I don't know the other details anymore, just that after that night, their father announced Lord Sol to be the heir instead. And Dion started acting like an irresponsible son. I can only imagine Dion's suffering at the hands of his father, and all the sacrifices he had made for Sol and Gold. Now I can understand why Sol would feel angry towards his brother. It's because Dion passed that heavy burden of being the deluxe heir onto him without explaining the reason. but I was sure that there was a reason why Dion acted like that. I know how much he wanted to protect the both of them, so I was sure that he wouldn't burden Soul have with that title, knowing what will happen to him at the hands of their father. You're going to talk with Dion as well, right? Yes. Voice crack. Yes. Then, please tell him that it's about time everyone knew the truth. What happened to both of you earlier? Go and ask him yourself. He started walking away, leaving me behind. Wait! I know he will listen to the person he has fallen in love with. Eh? I blushed hard at his words. It's hard not to notice it, especially when all he ever talks about is you and how special you are to him. Aw, Dion! You're too cute. With one last look at me, he finally left the room, leaving me flustered and embarrassed with what he just told me. I shook my head and tried to calm my heart. I had to focus. Now all that's left was talk to Dion. Oops. All right, Dion, where you at? Let me talk to you. Let me cheer you up, boo. The scene from the garden was still fresh in my mind as I snuck toward Dion's room. At this rate, I was going to become the world's best at sneaking around at night. I rolled my eyes, imagining myself on stage with the "Don't Wake Anyone Up" award before shaking my head at how stupid the idea was. What could I do with such an award anyway? Work as a thief? Ridiculous. Dion, are you there? There was no reply. I huffed, intent to complete my mission. I'm coming in! I pushed the door open and poked my head inside. I found him lying on his bed, his back facing me. Dion? What do you want? I winced at his unwelcoming tone. Don't be like that! He didn't sound very happy. It was the first time he acted this way. Are you alright? No, I'm guessing not. You're just like the rest of them. I had no idea what he was talking about. Carefully, I stepped into the room and shut the door behind me. What do you mean, I'm just like the rest of them? You must think that I'm selfish. I took a deep breath. I do. But then again, aren't we all selfish to some extent? I heard him sigh. The fight was my fault. I told him to give up on my sister and move on, but then he got angry and said that I had given up hope. You don't even know if Gold is still alive. I didn't know why, but anger suddenly rose within me. Oh boy. I marched around the bed and slapped his face. Okay, well. It was odd at that angle, but effective. I couldn't take this any longer. Listening to him give up hope like that, it was too painful. Yes, it's been 7 years, but Royal hasn't lost hope, right? Then you should do the same. You're Gold's trusted and beloved big brother, aren't you? Dion blinked and stared at me with amazement. He took a deep breath. You do have a point, Aura. It's just that I failed her. And Soul. How can I still face her? Oh my god. Even I heard that noise. I took a deep breath and struck his head with a chop. Whatcha? Ow! What was that for this time? You thought of something stupid again. Everyone is doing their best to live a normal life and hope that one day the curse will be lifted. You should do the same, not just for yourself, but for everyone else as well. Gold is alive and well, patiently waiting for that day. I just know it. Excuse me. Dion looked at me, his features finally softened. You're right. You really are something, love. That's why I love you more each day. Thank you. I looked away to hide my embarrassment. Please stop saying things at serious moments like this. Dion sighed and flopped onto his back, staring at the ceiling. You see, all this started with a stupid deal. Eh? I didn't want Soul and Gold to face the suffering I endured back then. That's why I did my best to please my father. I did everything he told me, even if they were against my principles. I've deceived so many people for his own personal gain. Aw, that's cruel. But I snapped that night. I just couldn't take it anymore. We were having a meeting with the family heads when my father announced that he would be offering Gold's hand to the most suitable man once she reaches the right age. Ah, I see why you would snap. Gold was only 10 at that time. She was still so young. That's terrible. I knew then that I couldn't just stand in the background while Father destroys our lives. I told everyone the monster he really was. This really infuriated him, and that's when he made a deal with me. I would take back everything I said about him, renounce my title as the heir, and make everyone believe how incompetent and unworthy I was for that title. Or else he would marry Gold off to some man. And when Soul was training for the heir position, he would not hurt my little brother, even if he made any mistakes. I had no choice but to do it. I wanted to spare them for the pain I suffered. I held Dion's hand to give him comfort and to let him know that I was here for him. He smiled and squeezed my hand. But I can't see the reason why you'd have to act like the irresponsible heir. He wanted to make it appear as if I've deceived everyone, including himself, by acting as the perfect son so I could get the respect and power that I wanted. He needed the people to sympathize with him, and he got what he wanted. Soul was then named the new heir. He never knew the real reason why I was replaced, just that I was too irresponsible to be our father's successor. I feared that he'd also go through what I did, but our father kept his word and didn't hurt Soul. It no doubt helped that Soul was an obedient and kind person. So this is the heavy burden he's been carrying for so many years, all for the sake of Soul and Gold. I had noticed that tears had been flowing down my cheeks until Dion brushed them away with his finger. I'm not worth your tears, love. You should have proved that you're not who everyone thinks you are. Oh, Aura, don't cry! Stop the crying! Dion gave me a sad smile, sitting up beside me. I did, but the damage has been done. No one trusts me anymore, not even Soul. And why should he? I even ruined his dream of becoming a dressmaker. There was even a point that I was jealous of my own brother because I kept being compared to him. I didn't want to destroy what little bond we have left, so I avoided actually doing something to avoid the comparison. But still, your father is gone, Dion. You can now tell Soul the truth. I can't. Why? Because he is a pure soul. If he knew about the truth, he would never forgive himself for letting me carry the burden alone. I cannot wait any longer. There was something Dion needed to hear. As much as it hurt to know my encouragement wasn't enough, I wasn't going to surrender. Royal has a message for you. He said that it's about time you tell everyone the truth. Surprise washed over his features, quickly replaced by guilt. Royal, he told me a little about your past and the bruises you bear. What? Please don't get angry with him. I was the one who insisted that Morello tell me about it. I had to say it as quick as possible though. Because that's what it sounds like to me. That idiot. Dion let out a long sigh, staring towards the door of his room. Since that incident, I felt so alone. That's why I went to Royal for company. We may fight most of the time, but I'm really grateful that he didn't abandon me. You're lucky to have a good friend like him. I am. I really need to apologize to him tomorrow. You better. Oh, that's cute. Stop being cute. I reached for his hand and placed it on my cheek. You've always told me that the burden you carry is yours alone, but I'm willing to share that burden with you if it means making you happy again. It hurts to see you in pain like this, Dion. I want you, Soul, and Gold to be reunited once again, just like you used to be when you were still young. Dion closed his eyes, his face contorted in pain. I don't know, Aura. I don't know if I'll still be able to fix this. I know you can. I smiled at him. In order to break the curse, something must be repaired first. Those were the Tormaker's words. You mean, your bond with Soul. You have to mend it to break the curse. Oh, we told him? Okay, I thought we weren't gonna tell him. Alright. Well, I think this is a good stopping point for today. We will continue more of Lockhart in the next video. Hopefully the next video will be the last one, and we finish up Dion's route in the next video, or maybe it'll either take the next video or 2 more videos. But yeah, if I do get the best end, I will for sure. I will let you guys know right now. If I do get the best end here for Dion's route, I will for sure do both normal ends for Royal and Dion. Just so you know, I'm not going to leave you guys in the dark because I still want to transform them into humans. But with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you guys would like to see more of my videos, then click subscribe. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!